In a sunlit third-grade classroom in Compton, California, 8-year-old Jamal Walker sat at his desk, swinging his legs and chewing on the end of his pencil. Ms. Ramirez, his teacher, had just announced the week's writing assignment. Who inspires you and why? The room buzzed with excitement as children scribbled the names of parents, athletes, and superheroes. Jamal thought hard. He could have written about his mom, who worked 2 jobs and never complained, or his grandpa, who told him stories about growing up in the city. But as he gazed at the mural outside the school, painted with the faces of local icons, his mind settled on one person: Snoop Dogg. The rapper's songs filled Jamal's home on Saturday mornings, mixed in with laughter and the aroma of pancakes. His uncles played Snoop's music at family cookouts, singing along and swapping stories about back in the day. But for Jamal, Snoop was more than a voice on the radio. He was a symbol of what was possible when you stayed true to yourself. Carefully, Jamal wrote, "Snoop Dogg inspires me because he never gave up. He helps kids in my city, and he shows you can be cool and kind. He talks about hard things but still smiles. I want to be like that." Ms. Ramirez circled the room, pausing to read over shoulders. When she reached Jamal, she smiled at his neat handwriting and honest words. "This is beautiful, Jamal. Would you like to read it to the class?" He nodded, shy but proud. At the end of the day, Jamal stood at the front of the room and shared his essay. His classmates listened, some nodding in agreement, others hearing Snoop's name for the first time. Ms. Ramirez praised him, saying, "It's important to find role models who show us kindness and strength." After school, Ms. Ramirez took a photo of Jamal's essay, careful to ask his mom for permission. She posted it on her private teacher's Twitter, captioned, "When kids find inspiration close to home, it's magic. Thank you, I'm Snoop Dogg, for showing my students that dreams can come from anywhere." Neither she nor Jamal expected what would happen next. That evening, the post started gaining attention, first from local educators, then from parents, and soon from thousands of strangers touched by Jamal's words. By morning, the tweet had exploded, racking up shares, likes, and replies from all over the world. News outlets reached out, wanting to speak to Ms. Ramirez and Jamal. At breakfast, Jamal's mom scrolled through her phone in disbelief. "Baby, you're famous," she laughed, hugging him tight. Ms. Ramirez received an email from Snoop Dogg's team. The rapper had seen the essay, and he wanted to visit the school. Jamal could hardly contain his excitement. All he'd wanted was to write something true. Now, his words were inspiring people everywhere. As the story spread, Jamal's essay became a beacon of hope for kids and adults alike. Comments poured in from teachers, parents, and even students in other countries. They wrote about their own inspirations, sharing how Snoop Dogg's journey had encouraged them to stay resilient and dream big. Journalists arrived at the school, cameras in tow. Jamal was nervous but handled each question with grace. "I just wrote what I feel," he explained. "Snoop Dogg is cool, but he's also good to people. That's why I like him." Ms. Ramirez's inbox filled with messages from educators wanting to highlight real-world role models. Her principal praised her for creating a classroom where students felt safe to share their dreams. At home, Jamal's family celebrated his sudden fame. Neighbors stopped by to congratulate him, some bringing baked goods, others just wanting to say how proud they were. Jamal's mom made sure he kept his feet on the ground, reminding him that kindness mattered more than likes or retweets. When Snoop Dogg tweeted a response, "Lil man, you inspire me too. See you soon," the neighborhood erupted. The school's phones rang off the hook, parents wanting to know if it was really true. Ms. Ramirez organized a school assembly, planning for Snoop Dogg's visit. Teachers decorated the gym with student artwork, and the music teacher rehearsed a medley of Snoop's positive tracks with the class. Local businesses donated snacks, and the city council sent a letter commending Jamal for being a shining light for the youth of Compton. The sense of community pride was stronger than ever. Jamal, though excited, was most proud of one thing: that his words had made people happy and brought attention to the good that could come from his city. Snoop's team coordinated with the school for a surprise visit. They asked Jamal what he'd like to say to Snoop if he met him in person. Jamal smiled and said, "Just thank you for not giving up, and for helping us believe we can be anything." The day of the assembly arrived. Jamal wore his best shirt, hair neatly combed, and practiced his words over and over. When the gym doors swung open and Snoop Dogg strolled in, grinning, arms wide, the entire school erupted in cheers. Jamal felt his heart soar. He was about to meet his hero. The moment Snoop Dogg entered the gym, it felt like the world paused. He greeted the students and staff with hugs and high fives, his easy charm filling the room with excitement and warmth. Snoop made his way to Jamal, kneeling down to the boy's level. "Heard you wrote something real special about me, young man," he said, smiling. Jamal beamed, handing Snoop a printed copy of his essay. Reading aloud, Snoop's voice softened as he reached the final lines. "That's some real love, right? There," he told the crowd. "We all need to lift each other up. Jamal, you did that." The gym filled with applause. Snoop handed Jamal a signed jersey and a pair of headphones, joking, "So you can keep listening to the classics." But the real gift was the time he spent with the class, answering questions, sharing stories, and reminding every student they mattered. Snoop spoke about his own childhood in Long Beach, the teachers who believed in him, and the importance of giving back to your community. He told the students, "Doesn't matter where you start. What matters is how you finish." Jamal's classmates took turns asking Snoop about music, family, and what kept him inspired. Snoop answered every question with patience and humor, often turning the spotlight back to the kids. Ms. Ramirez was moved to tears, watching her students' words spark so much joy and pride. She thanked Snoop for coming, and he replied, "This right here is what it's all about, lifting up the next generation." After the assembly, Snoop joined Jamal and his family for lunch in the school cafeteria. They talked about dreams, school, and the importance of being kind, even when things are tough. Before leaving, Snoop pulled Jamal aside. "You got something special, kid. Keep using your words for good." Photos from the visit went viral, further cementing the story's place in the hearts of millions around the globe. For Jamal, the experience was life-changing, not just for the attention, but for the belief that his voice could make a difference. In the weeks that followed, Jamal's story continued to inspire. Schools across the country asked students to write about their own heroes, sparking conversations about resilience, community, and dreams. Ms. Ramirez's class started a project, Letters of Inspiration. They mailed notes to people who inspired them, family, community leaders, even other musicians. Some received heartfelt replies, building a web of positivity that stretched far beyond Compton. Jamal was invited to speak at city events, youth centers, and even a local radio show. He used each opportunity to encourage other kids. Don't be afraid to share your dreams. You never know who's listening. Snoop Dogg kept in touch, sending occasional messages and shout-outs. He donated books and supplies to Jamal's school, supporting literacy programs and after-school activities. The mural outside the school was updated to include Jamal's face, smiling next to Snoop's, a symbol of the power of hope. Jamal's family remained grounded, helping him navigate his newfound fame with humility. "Remember who you are, son," his mom reminded him, "and always use your voice to help others." The essay that started it all was published in a national magazine, alongside stories from other children about their own heroes. Teachers from around the world reached out, inspired to bring more creativity and honesty into their classrooms. Jamal kept writing stories, poems, and even lyrics, sharing his work at school and online. He dreamed of becoming a writer or musician one day, but for now he was just proud to know his words mattered. The world moved on, but the ripple Jamal started never truly faded. It echoed in classrooms, homes, and hearts everywhere. A reminder that inspiration can come from anywhere, and that a single honest voice can reach across the world. And in every song, every essay, every act of kindness that followed, Snoop Dogg's message and Jamal's story lived on.